Hello everyone, and welcome to another Conan Exiles video. I'm Exiled Phoenix, and today I will be going over an agility slash bow PvP build that is current and up to date with 3.3. Alright, so we'll start off with the armor. Now, this set of armor was released with the Chapter 3 update. It is by far the best agility armor in the Exiled Lands right now, possibly even in the game. That's the Ranger set. Now, you'll have to do a little bit of farming to get it, as it basically requires you to complete each and every dungeon in the Exiled Lands in order to complete the journey step to get it. But yeah, it's very good. It's agility, weapon damage plus 8%, and stamina plus 7 for each piece. You'll also want to complete the Kurak dungeon so you can get the leggings of Kurak, because that's 32 stamina. You gotta have that when you're in an agility or bow build. And then if you want, you can use the spider climb boots, which give you an additional 22 stamina. Now, you'll have like a stamina pool of 250, maybe even a little bit higher with that. But you're going to miss out on that agility weapon damage plus 8%. Now, you're going to want bulk platings on each piece of armor, because with this particular set, the armor value is not super high, so you're definitely going to want bulk platings on it. If you want to farm for the Verminhide pants and boots, you can do that. That'll give you a nice boost in health if you want that instead, and also 6% agility weapon damage. I have the Black Corsair pieces in here along with the Silent Legion Late Tacit, because this used to be probably the highest damage you could get for agility. It was the highest on Exiled Lands. But it's just not that good anymore, because it doesn't give you that stamina plus 7 that the Ranger pieces give you. And I also left in the Khari Raider pieces, because if you want a little bit of extra carry capacity, these 3 pieces will help, but with this particular attribute build I'm going to show you, you won't need that carry capacity. Alright, so moving on to the weapons. We're going to start off with daggers. Daggers of Dagon are by far the best daggers in the game. 65, 32, and they do cripple. The only caveat to them is they cannot be poisoned, but you really don't need poison. I mean, with the cripple, and the amount of damage they do is just insane. Second choice would be Obsidian daggers. As you can see, they're significantly lower damage, but they're still really good, and you can poison them. Now, unlike some other Obsidian weapons, these actually do not cost more stamina to use than other types of weapons. So they basically cost the same amount of stamina to attack with as, let's say, the Dragonbone or Daggers of Dagon. And then as a cheaper option, you could do the Dragonbone daggers, very cheap to craft, and still do pretty dang good damage. Same damage, a little bit less armor pen than the Obsidian daggers. Now for katanas, you really only have one option unless you have DLCs, and this is your epic katana essentially. It's made with star metal, 6424. I didn't put the Musashi's Blackblade in here because it's really only 1 damage and 1 armor pen better. But you can use the Musashi's Blackblade if you farmed legendary chests and you happen to have gotten one, but the RNG is pretty bad, so the chances of actually getting one of those is pretty low. Now for the bows, we have a few different options. If you really want to farm for it, you can go for the Reach of the Red Mother. It's by far the best bow in the game. 35 damage, 42 armor pen, you just can't get any better than that. But it is really tedious to farm, as there is only that one boss in Unnamed City that will drop it, and the chances of actually getting it is very slim. But the Khari Bow is definitely the second best bow for sure. 36 and 20, very good bow if crafted with the right carpenter. Farming the Khari Steel is a little bit of a pain as well, but it's definitely a lot easier than farming a Reach of the Red Mother for sure. And if you don't want to go with that either, you could try the Hollow Bone Bow. These will drop from actually 2 of the bat bosses in the bat caves. And then a cheaper option would be the Dragonbone Bow, which is still pretty dang good. For your arrows, you have a few different options as well. You have Black Ice arrows, which you can craft at the Forge of Ymir in the Frost Temple. You have the Obsidian arrows, crafted with obsidian. These are probably your best bet right here for just a well-balanced arrow. And then of course there's Hollowbone arrows, which again farmed from the Harpy Caves near the dam, and these are the best arrows. 15 and 54, they just do a lot of damage, especially if someone's wearing heavy armor or something. but they are pretty tedious to farm as well. If you're going to try to farm these, you're going to want the Careful Harvest perk and try to go kill some harpies and chop them up with the Black Blood pick. Now we will go over the attributes build. So basically, obviously we're going to want full agility. We're going to want Deadshot as the first perk because we want those arrows to travel really fast. And then for our final perk, really you can go either way with this. I like to have Extended Leap because it allows me to escape a little bit easier. We're going to go full Vitality as well. You want Fast Healer and probably Last Stand. It all depends on what the situation is. If you're raiding or defending, you probably want Last Stand. If you're in open world PvP where there's a lot of space to run, you might want Glutton for Punishment. We're going to go to Tier 2 in Grit and choose Endurance for the stamina regeneration. We're going to put 5 in Expertise for the carry capacity and 5 in Strength to get that heavy and special attacks 10% additional damage, and that's going to be good for your charged bow shots. Alright, so my stats, when I've put those points in, we have 735 max health and 241 stamina. Now that's with the ranger pieces and the leggings of Karak. If I were to add the spider climb boots instead of the ranger boots, we would now have 256 stamina and still 735 health, but slightly less damage. And if we were to add the vermin hide pieces instead, we would have 855 HP and 202 stamina. And now for our buffs for this build, we're going to want Elixir of Grace and Salted Exquisite Meat. That's going to give us a total of 30% agility weapon damage. It's going to severely increase our damage. And just with this bow build, it ends up being a pretty nasty build. Now as you can see, I'm even carrying my extra pieces of armor. I've got my Daggers of Dagon, I've got 2 stacks of arrows, 2 stacks of heals, food, my bow, and even a construction hammer, and I'm still under 50% carry capacity. So you don't need anything to help you with extra carry capacity for this particular build. That's all folks. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It'll help the video get out to more people. And if you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.